They're here. That's right, guys. Welcome to Movie Emporium's Flashback Reviews, where we take a movie from our past, maybe my past, break it down, tell you about it. As always, if you like what you see, remember to rate, subscribe, check out the YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter. Check out nlapola1138@gmail.com if you have any questions. So, as you can tell, we're going to talk about Poltergeist. Well-known movie. Came out in 1982. It was directed by Tobe Hooper. Maybe Steven Spielberg. No one's really sure, but it starred Craig T. Nelson, Beth Williams, and Zelda Rubinstein. And so the basic storyline is we got this family who lives in this house. One night their daughter is she's watching the TV, watching static, and she starts talking to whatever's in the TV. Nobody knows what's going on. And then one day their daughter is taken from this world to another world by so on and so forth, Poltergeist, as the movie is entailed. And they bring along this group of like ghosts, supernatural people who try to figure out what's going on. Why is this house creating so much static, electricity, poltergeist activity, all that and so forth. And at some point, they figure out that their house was on an Indian burial ground, and they bring along this character played by Zelda Rubinstein, who basically tells them about how, characters are brought into another world and how they're possessed and so on and so forth. And then they try to rescue the main character's daughter. So Poltergeist, when it came out, was considered one of the scariest movies ever made. It was directed supposedly by Tobe Hooper, who was known for like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He had done a lot of good horror films. Steven Spielberg had been producing this movie, so there's rumors that he actually took in and started directing some of it. And you can see maybe some of his touches, and Spielberg still being huge at the time as he is now. I'm sure he had some influence in how the movie was made, but so the idea of why I love this movie so much is that it's creepy and it's horrifying, but it's also interesting. It's also eccentric and eclectic. I always say that for some reason. I don't know why, but I think the casting in this movie is awesome. I think Craig T. Nelson is a fantastic actor. This is even before his Coach days. Then you have the mother played by Beth Williams. And then you have like the daughter who was played by Heather O'Rourke, who unfortunately passed away after the Poltergeist 3 movie or something like that, which is really sad. But there's so much to like about this movie. It's the visual flair to it, the physical effects. There's moments where like the guy's eating a pork chop, and all of a sudden he's like his face is like he rips off his face, which is the most amazing, graphically detailed thing I've ever seen. It's something like straight out of Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's why there's always been this rumor that Spielberg directed this movie, which is kind of interesting because this feels like something he would never direct because it deals with some horrifying subject matter. I mean, Heather O'Rourke's character is sucked into a TV or sucked into the other world or whatever they call it. And I guess Beth Williams eventually has to go save her, going through the portal. But I don't know. I mean, you guys have also seen the movie. It's an interesting, weird, fantastic take on parents who have to go to any length to save their children. And that's what makes the movie so great because the characters they have a lot of real depth to them. They have a lot of real just a lot of real heart to them. And that's what makes the movie fantastic. Zelda Rubinstein, who, like I said earlier, she plays this like psychic or medium. And there's like this whole gigantic scene where she just goes on like a monologue just about how we are with our children and how she's there. You have to talk to her. You have to be there for her. And it almost seems like she's just telling the audience and telling the people, take care of your children. You never know what's going to happen. You never know if down the line something could happen where they get killed or where they get hurt or they, how anything that could happen. And she's basically saying that, you have to take care of your children. And that's what's fascinating about Poltergeist. And then, just the horrifying elements, like I said, with the pork chop scene, and then there's the clown incident with the little son, and then there's like the graveyard that you find out later on that's an Indian burial ground. And for a movie that came out in 1982, this and The Thing also came out in the same year. I think it set an interesting precedent for what a interesting horror film could be. Yeah, you have horror films all throughout history, but I think Poltergeist set a really high bar for supernatural horror films, like the thing set for physical body horror, aliens, and all that so forth. And I just think that what they were able to accomplish here, what the intense nature of what they were accomplished, um, it's just amazing to see. There's like they go through this whole thing of the daughter being sent into the other world, and then when she escapes, or when they finally get her to escape from that world, there's like another 10 minutes where just everything seems normal. Then all of a sudden hell breaks loose, and then the house ends up sucking itself into another dimension. And at the end of the movie, what's great about it is like they go to a hotel. Craig T. Nelson sees the TV. He pushes it out into the balcony. And that's what kind of movie it is. It's an entertainment movie. It's a horror movie. It's a fun movie in general, and I just can't say enough good things about it. I've never been a big fan of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I think Tobe Hooper, if whatever he directed of this, I think he really brought his A game, and it's just the music special. Like I said, Spielberg, whatever he did to it is special too. But I mean, there's not much really else to say outside of just check it out if you have not seen it. I don't know why you haven't seen it. They did do a house for it for Halloween Horror Nights this year, which was awesome because it's one of my favorite houses. It's very clever how they mix like puppetry and they mix like the visual flair of what you remember from Poltergeist and added a little bit more. So definitely check that out if you live in Orlando or live out in Hollywood, because I think it's out in Hollywood as well. But that's it. That's my take on Poltergeist. As always, like I said before, if you like what you see, remember to check out the YouTube channel, the Facebook page, Twitter, email @lopolo113@gmail.com. If you've seen Poltergeist, I'd be interested to see what your favorite scene is, what your favorite part of the movie was, so on and so forth. So let me know. But otherwise, I'll see you guys later. Peace.
This has